One of the interesting things about studying the Bible with the lens of geography is that with locations, patterns emerge that could have otherwise been overlooked. For example, when Jesus is moving back and forth between Bethany and Jerusalem, proceeding down the Mount of Olives, this could have brought to mind previous processions down the Mount of Olives. Well, anyone who travels to the east of Jerusalem probably crosses the Kidron Valley and the Mount of Olives, even when they aren't mentioned by name. A quick Bible search for Kidron or Mount of Olives brings a couple interesting results. The first passage to mention both by name is the story of David fleeing from Jerusalem because of his son Absalom. The story describes how David and his court crossed the Kidron Valley weeping. There are a few exchanges with visitors and priests, and then David continues up the Mount of Olives, still weeping. David returns to Jerusalem in 2 Samuel 20, and while the Mount of Olives is not specifically mentioned here, he almost certainly crossed over it again if he was returning from the east. His return is bittersweet, but he returns to face the consequences of his action and try to put his kingdom in order. One has to wonder if these passages came to mind for Jesus as he traveled back and forth across the Mount of Olives, or for the authors of the Gospels as they wrote. When John talks about Jesus and his disciples crossing the Kidron in chapter 18, was he echoing how David, Jesus' ancestor, had crossed the Kidron, weeping? And when Jesus turns to return with the soldiers that had been sent for him, do we see him, like David, ready to do the unpleasant task necessary for the reclaiming of his kingdom? David's son, Absalom, had been killed in order for David to reclaim his kingdom. But in contrast, Jesus was prepared to give his own life for his kingdom. And once we start seeing echoes from the life of David here, we see them in several other places.